What is a Misogi Japanese challenge? It is an annual personal development challenge where you undertake an extraordinarily difficult physical or mental feat. The goal is to expand your capabilities by attempting something with a true 50% chance of failure. Essentially, you want to give yourself a task that you don't really know if you can complete it. There's only a 50% chance that you might achieve success in it. And I think for this year, this is gonna be the first time that I'm attempting something like this. And I think for me, I would call myself a runner, but the most I've done is a half marathon, which is 13.1 miles. But I think to really challenge myself, to choose whatever my Misogi is, I think I want to run a 50K, which would be considered an ultra marathon. Meanwhile, I've never done a marathon. I've never, ran over 15 miles. I never ran past 13 miles. And a 50K is 31 point something. And yeah, I think what makes this even trickier is I only have 4 weeks to do it. I started training for this last week and I'm currently on week 2. And I'm also documenting my process of how I'm doing this. But I really wanted to give myself, the opportunity to test my limits and to see what I'm really made of. I think I spend so much time doing things that I feel like are safe. I feel like as humans, we want to choose the safest route, the safest option. And I think in doing this, I want to overcome the fear of failure. Fear of failure keeps us from going after so many things. I want to get over the fear of failure. I want to get over this idea that I need to be obsessed, with the outcome. I was talking to my dad yesterday who wants to lose weight, and we were going on a walk just in our neighborhood. And I was telling him, just like different things that he can begin to do to start dropping some weight. And I was telling him, do these things for 6 months. And his first question was, okay, if I do it in 6 months, how much weight do you think I would have lost? And it's funny, I've had this thought, like as I exercise, as I work out. The thought occurred to me during my 12-mile run, which I've never done in training. I've only run 12 miles during my half marathon, but I've never done it in training. So I did it, I was doing my 12 miles and my brain kept trying to jump to the finish line. It kept trying to jump to, that experience of those 12 miles being over. What is it gonna feel like to have completed it? What is it gonna feel like to tell people? And then a thought popped into my head. Thinking about the finish line is how you don't complete the race. In thinking about where you're gonna be, you might never get there because your brain is providing you with comfort of a success that you have not reached yet. You can't entertain possibilities of a success yet. I feel like that's setting yourself up for disaster. And I don't think that's a good way to approach any challenge. So in doing this Misogi Japanese challenge, which I recently heard about, I think, as I mentioned before, I want to take back, I guess, this fear of failure, this fear of failing at something. Because in choosing to do this, you can't be overwhelmed by the possibility that you can't do it. That in of itself is a prerequisite to the challenge. And that's a big reason that I'm choosing to do it. Number 2, not obsessing over outcome. Not obsessing over the outcome, right? Not obsessing with the finish line. My biggest goal with this process is to obsess over the monotony of progress. To obsess over the monotony of progress. I think that should be the real goal of anything that you're doing, right? Obviously, the outcome is important. Achieving success is important, especially when it's required based on whatever you're doing. I think all of those things are important, but I think what I'm trying to get into is just, the sustainability of whatever it is that you're doing, right? If you're gonna sustain yourself, if you're gonna sustain your body, your mental capacity to stay in the race of whatever you're doing, you can't be focused on the end, right? You need to concern yourself with the work that's gonna be taking place day in and day out. And that could go for anything, right? Like for this 50K that I want to do, I can't concern myself with, whatever the outcome might be, the time, how many miles I think I might run, or all of that is really determined on race day and during the race as I'm feeling how my body feels. As of now, I am not there. My best bet is to take it a day at a time. Whatever I have on a training block for the day, focus on that, do it well, and then just plan for the next day. And fall in love with the process of the day. Falling in love with what the day is. As of now, existing within a particular day, you're not thinking about the past because the past already happened. In a way, the past does not exist anymore. It exists in our minds. Our minds, like my mind and the minds of other people, as a collective memory, that is what makes up the past. In terms of experiences, obviously, the homes and the things that we interact with were built in the past and they exist as physical artifacts of the present. But I'm speaking more to, maybe more so mental things. So that's the past. And the future, right, is things that have not happened yet. So we can't concern ourselves with years from now, even weeks from now. In some ways you can. It's not a bad thing to plan for the future, but the future is made up of days that you continue to stack within the present. I would consider the present day to be the most important thing to be concerned with. Obsess over what's happening right in front of you. Obsess over everything that you need to do within the day, and just continue stacking. Just continue stacking days, stacking reps. I think that's what it means to obsess over progress, the monotony of progress. Because the day to day, it can feel very slow, right? It can feel tedious. We want to think about the success because in thinking about the success, it's going to give us the necessary motivation to get to the finish line. But you can't pull motivation from a success that hasn't happened yet, right? Because it's eventually going to run out. That's not going to be enough to get you there to the finish line. You just have to learn to fall in love with the process. And part of this challenge, with the way that I've increased my training, with the way that I'm trying to do it very quickly and within 4 weeks, and with it being a 50% chance of failure, a 50% chance of success, there's a lot of fear that comes with this. But in having that fear, I get to face it head on, right? I get to overcome what I perceive to be limitations of myself as a runner, what I perceive to be mental limitations of whether I can do it or not. I'm not focusing on those things. I'm not focusing on the outcome. I'm focusing on how I feel right now in this moment. What can I do right now in this moment to get me closer to my goal? What am I gonna do right now? Well, essentially, what I did yesterday is giving me, the confidence to go into today strong. And what I do today also gonna give me the confidence to go into the next day. And it just becomes a cycle that repeats itself. So if you're watching this video, I would urge you, depending on where you are in your life at this moment, of course, defining a Misogi challenge for yourself is all relative, right? Like for example, if you've never run before, a 10K or half marathon might be a great Misogi for you. That would be a great challenge that you only have a 50% of success in that you could do. If you're pursuing a creative pursuit, right? And I was talking to a friend about this. If you're having fears about, making music, producing music, whatever that process is, I would tell you within a month, depending on your skill set, you can determine, I guess, an amount of time that it might take you to do this or what might be best in returns of your skill set. But I was talking to my friend who's musically inclined and she's a singer. And I was telling her, if you have fears about, being a part of musical production, being a part of maybe a band or just anything related to music, I challenge you to make an album. Whether it's 10 songs or 15 songs, no matter if they're bad, if they're badly produced, I challenge you, over the course of, maybe a month, force yourself to sit down and make this album, and you can determine the extent of, how far the album is pushed in terms of the amount of songs, if you want cover art, everything that pertains to what it means to create an album, right? If you want to become a better drawer, to sketch one thing, you could challenge yourself to sketch one thing every single day for a year, right? Do not miss a day. Honestly, whatever you're involved in, there's ways in which you can think about, challenging yourself. I think this would be a great thing for everyone to do. I think as people, as human beings, we all have these self-imposed limitations that we put on ourselves. And I think in doing something like this, it can break open those limitations. It can let you know, what indeed is possible for you, what your body is capable of, what your mind is capable of. And I think it's important that we know those things. And as we continue to break our limits, as the next year comes, right? As the next year approaches, we will have broken those limits and we will have new limits. We will have new ceilings, right? And we will continue to break those. And the cycle just continually repeat on itself. So if you're watching this video, as I mentioned before, I would encourage you to determine what your Misogi challenge could be. You don't have to start right now. You can start whenever. I think this would be a great thing for everyone to try out. Just make sure it's something that you're just not sure you can do. 50% chance of success. And yeah, if you decide during this video what your challenge is, you know, leave a comment, let me know what it is. As I mentioned before, mine is the 50K that I have planned for July 18th. The plan is to, I'm not sure what the plan is. I think I want to try to run a decent bit of it and then maybe walk/run the rest of it. We're gonna see how it pans out. I'm sure the weather's gonna be hot. I'm sure my legs are gonna be aching, you know, but it's something that I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna get through it and I'm gonna hope for the best and not concern myself with whatever the outcome might be. So yeah, my name is Desmond Young. My channel is Desmond IRL, and if this video inspired you in any way, consider subscribing, consider liking this video, and leave a comment of what you feel like you learned or enjoyed about this video. What can I do better, you know, for the next video? And if you decided what your Misogi challenge is, put it in the comments. My name is Desmond Young, this is Desmond IRL, and thank you for watching. Peace.